The Dassault Mirage 2000 is a French delta-wing, multi-role, single-engine, fourth-generation aircraft built to replace the vaunted Mirage 3. A 1970s lightweight fighter, its evolution became a multi-role fighter with the advent of a few variants. The Mirage 2000's origins can be traced back to the 1960s with the Anglo-French variable swing-wing aircraft undertaken by Britain and France. After 2 years, though, France dropped out due to cost, so Dassault focused on its own variable geometry aircraft, the experimental prototype Mirage-G, while Britain ultimately collaborated with West Germany and Italy to produce the Panavia Tornado. The Mirage G8 was designed to replace the Mirage 3 in French Air Force service. The Dassault company dedicated a lot of time on the prototype Mirage G8A, a fixed geometry derivative of the G8 to compete with the Panavia Tornado, and the G8 was envisioned as Aviation de Combat Futur, ACF, the future combat aircraft for the French Air Force, though it did not align with the service's conception of its future aircraft. The Armée de l'Air, ADA, wanted a Mach 3 fighter, not a dog-fighting incapable interdictor aircraft like the Mirage G8. Dassault did have a secondary project started, and they donned it the Mirage 1000, which started in 1972. Dassault, though, still redesigned the G8 into an ambitious two-engine Super Mirage G8A, which would prove very expensive, 2.5 times the cost of the Mirage F1, as well as being over-engineered, especially compared to the F-16, which a number of European countries had already ordered. So in 1975, the Super Mirage was canceled during a meeting of the National Defense Council. The French envisioned ACF was a strike aircraft first and interceptor second, while the Delta 2000, which was the Mirage 1000, was the reverse. A single-engine Delta Wing 2000 was far cheaper. And at the same National Defense Council meeting, it was redesignated the Mirage 2000 and was offered to the ADA with 3 prototypes ordered. In March 1976, the ADA issued a set of criteria whose parameters matched those of Dassault's performance estimates of the new fighter. Having a primary interception role and a secondary ground attack capability, the ADA was somewhat impressed and committed on ordering 200 aircraft to be delivered in 1982. A return to the first generation Mirages with several all-important innovations to attempt to resolve their past shortcomings. 3 construction sites were dedicated to the Mirage 2000's construction. 2 in Bordeaux, specializing in different key components, with wings being built in Martinez and the fuselage fabrication done in Argenteuil, just northwest of Paris. With final assembly at the Bordeaux-Mérignac Airport, the Prototype 1, designated Mirage 2000 No. 1, was hand-built at St. Cloud before arriving at Dassault's facility for assembly. March 1978, pilot Jean Carroll made the No. 1's first flight just 27 months after the program's start. A 65-minute flight, Carroll hit Mach 1.02 without afterburner, then reaching Mach 1.3 at 1,200 meters. Mach 2 had been surpassed by May with an airspeed of 1,200 kilometers per hour. By May, with an airspeed of 1,200 kilometers per hour or 650 knots. The Mirage 2000 proved to be a capable aircraft at low speed. Also, as demonstrated in September 1978 at the Farnborough Air Show, when a Mirage 2000 raised its nose to a 25-degree angle of attack, slowing to 190 kilometers per hour or 100 knots. It was later tested and verified that the Mirage 2000 could attain a 30-degree angle of attack while carrying fuel tanks and armament. Also, in September 1978, the Mirage 2000 No. 2 made its maiden flight with pilot Guy Mirage at the helm, the same pilot that was at the Farnborough Air Show. He was testing avionics and weapons carrying availability. This aircraft, though, was lost in 1984 due to a flameout while landing. In April of 1979 saw number 3 make its maiden flight, testing radar and weapons trials, and equipped with a full weapons array. The 3 were ordered in 1975. Dassault made a 4th single-seat demonstrator for its own purposes. It incorporated lessons learned from the first 3, especially in reduction of fin height, as well as an increased fin sweep, redesigned air inlets, and a fly-by-wire FBW system. Only one 2-seater, the Mirage 2000B, flew on the 4th of October 1980. The first Mirage 2000C, C for Chasseur or Fighter, flew on November 20th, 1982, with delivery starting to the ADA in 1983. The first 37 Mirage 2000Cs had the Thompson CSF radar Doppler multifunction RDM powered by the SNE CMA M53-5 turbofan engine. The 38th Mirage 2000C had an upgraded SNE CMA M53-P2 turbofan engine. In 1987, the Mirage 2000C was equipped with the radar Doppler impulsion, the RDI system, built by Thales, which improved the range by about 150 kilometers, and also being linked to Matra Super 530D missiles, an improved version over the older Super 530F designs. Look down, shoot down capability was very much improved also, though this radar wasn't usually used for air-to-surface roles. The Mirage 2000 had some variants built, one being the 2000N, a dedicated nuclear strike variant intended to carry the ASMP nuclear standoff missile, entering operational service in 1988, initially operating with the 4th Escadre de Chasse at Lexdu Air Base. An attack variant, the Mirage 2000D, made its first production flight in 1993 and entered service in 1995. 75 2000Ns and 86 2000Ds were manufactured. By the late 1980s, the Mirage 2000C was being rendered obsolete in its current form by F-16's latest models, especially in the Mirage's inability to engage multiple targets simultaneously, and it's having such a small armament load. So in 1989, Dassault, with Thompson CSF's cooperation, started upgrading some Mirage 2000Cs, naming it the Mirage 2000-5. The Mirage 2000 B2-seater was upgraded to a 2000-5 status, first as a prototype flying in October of 1990. A Mirage 2000C's first prototype flew in April of 1991. It was the first designed specifically for the export market, with Taiwan having the first order in 1992 and Qatar the second in 1994. They both entered service in 1997. Dassault, meanwhile, needed the ADA to order some to boot their export sales, so in 1993 the ADA decided to upgrade 37 Mirage 2000Cs to the 2000-5 specs as a stopgap before the Rafale entered service. The Mirage 2000-5F became operational in 2000, and they retained the old Serval Sabre Spiral countermeasure units and did not receive the ICM S2 system. A 2-seat version was also developed whose rear seat had a heads-up display but no associated head-level display, and it also lacked a cannon, though it could incorporate cannon pods. The final variant of the Mirage 2000 was modified at the urging of the United Arab Emirates, initially dubbed the Mirage 2000-9. It had an upgraded radar and upgraded avionics, a range extension, and a new weapons configuration. On November 27, 2007, the last Mirage 2000 was delivered to the Hellenic Air Force, then production was shut down. The Mirage 2000 had retractable tricycle landing gear, could incorporate either a runway hook or a brake parachute, and a removable fueling probe offset up front. A supersonic metal aircraft with a delta wing design like its predecessor, the Mirage 3, though with major avionics upgrades to overcome the latter's aerodynamic limitations. The low-set thin wing has a leading edge swept back of 58 degrees and a trailing edge forward sweep of 3.5 degrees. 4 elevons and 4 lead edge slats compose the wing, a feature that offers a comparative large wing area, thus reducing wing loading, giving the Mirage 2000 a wing area of 41 meters squared and a wing load of 77 pounds per square foot at a takeoff weight of 33,000 pounds, making it more maneuverable than the F-15 and the similarly sized F-16, which has a wing load of 110 pounds per square foot. One advantage of the blending of the wing root and engine at the Mirage 2000, which accommodated more fuel with a capacity of 900 gallons, 200 more than the Mirage 3. The fuselage had been created to minimize drag by maintaining a constant cross-sectional area along with the delta wing. The Mirage 2000, noted for its superior handling at various speeds, a first for the delta wing design. Also, relaxed stability. The center of gravity or neutral point is placed ahead of the center of pressure, further enhancing maneuverability. It also incorporated negative stability and fly-by-wire controls with 4 analog computers to overcome the delta wing shortcomings of poor low-speed control while retaining the advantages of low drag, low radar cross-section, ideal high-speed aerodynamics, and a large internal valve, and a simplicity provided by the absence of horizontal tail surfaces. The fly-by-wire flight control system has 2 distinct modes. The first one allows unrestricted operations within its allowed flight envelope, using when carrying air-to-air weapons. The second is when carrying fuel tanks, air-to-ground munitions, or a mix of both. The second mode also acts as a G-limiter, preventing heavier munitions from damaging the pylons they are on and being pulled off by excessive G-forces. Available in single or 2-seat configurations, a pilot flies by handling of a center stick and left-hand control throttles, with both incorporating the HOTAS controls. The seat is a SEM MB Mark 10 00 ejection seat, a license-built version of the British Martin Baker Mark 10. A Sextant VE130 heads-up display dominates the control panel, presenting data relating to flight control, navigation, target engagement, and weapons firing, with a radar screen located centrally just below it. The SNE CMA M53 afterburning turbofan engine is a lightweight, single-shaft engine consisting of 3 low-pressure compression stages, 5 high-pressure compression stages, and 2 turbofan stages. The Apex version of this engine produces 15,000 pounds of thrust at dry thrust and 21,000 pounds with afterburner. The Mirage 2000's armament includes twin GA IAT 30-550F4 autocannons, which are 30mm revolver-type cannons, selectable between 1,200 or 800 rounds per minute. The 2000-5 variant is the Apex Mirage 2000, a hunter-killer with major sensor and cockpit upgrades, increasing its combat ability. Equipped with the Thompson CSF RDY radar Doppler multi-target system with lockdown shoot-down capability, which is capable of air-to-air, air-to-ground, and air-to-sea. In air-to-ground mode, the RDY has navigation and attack functions, giving it deep strike and close support capabilities. It can automatically lock onto multiple targets while displaying 15 contacts, with the use of the MAGG missile, up to which 6 can be fired simultaneously at multiple targets. Pilot workload is compensated by the advent of a multi-display glass cockpit, and the ICMS countermeasures suite contains 3 radar detectors and an infrared sensor linked to active jammers and chaff flare dispensers. Also included is a Thales TB/CT CLDP laser designator pod and the multi-mode RDY, allowing detection of up to 24 targets, with the added ability to simultaneously track 8 threats while guiding 4 micro missiles to different targets. Updated avionics uses the night vision compatible glass cockpit, a dual link heads-up display. Offensive enhancements are a data link for targeting micro missiles, with the addition of a Damocles forward-looking infrared targeting pod and a Thales RDY-2 synthetic aperture radar with an optional top sight helmet mounted display. Also, the addition of the Thales Totem 3000 inertial navigation system with ring laser gyroscope and GPS capability, providing much greater accuracy, higher reliability, and shorter alignment time. An onboard oxygen generation system is also there for the pilot's use. All this makes the Mirage 2000 a more than capable dogfighter and strike aircraft, a very scary aircraft. The Mirage 2000 can reach speeds of 1,452 miles an hour, Mach 2.2 at high altitude, and at 960 mile per hour at 55,970 feet surface ceiling, with a rate of climb of 56,100 feet per minute, and with a 0.7 thrust to weight ratio, and a armament including a Mantra rocket pod, a 68 millimeter rocket pod, alongside the twin cannons. It also has 9 hard points, which can carry 6 MBDA Mica IRRF missiles and 2 Mantra R550 Magic 2s in air-to-air configurations, or 2 AM-39 Exocet missiles and a 1 Scout EG air-to-surface missile with a variable array of bomb loads. This makes for one badass bird that can rain hell on any bogey it faces. Thank you, and this is Big Duke 6. Until next time.